to introduce your moderator, Rebecca Richardson's with Mark IV Consulting. Mark IV is a consulting firm doing work for the National Biodiesel Board, and Rebecca in particular with the work she does with a lot of regulatory agencies, National Conference of Weights and Measures, and working additionally with the Illinois Soybean Association to help coordinate this. So with that, Rebecca.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody had a good, delicious lunch in the exhibit hall. And I hope you got to have a couple of puffs of fresh air in San Diego before we get going on our afternoon sessions. We hope this is going to really invigorate you and start your afternoon off with a lot of energy. I promise you this is not a boring session. It'll be an hour chock full of really cool stuff because after all, B20 Club members are cool. So you will hear from, you're going to hear some really interesting things this afternoon. For example, you're going to hear about a stealth program from one of the sneakier of our fleet managers that we know, and you're going to hear about the stealth program, how they tricked their fleet into using biodiesel. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then you're also going to hear about a three-party barter system from one of our partners, or one of our members in the B20 Club. And it's really a very interesting model that actually they've used beyond biodiesel. They're implementing it in other ways in their fleet system. So like I say, there is no lack of really cool information that you're going to hopefully take away from this and be able to think about how you can incorporate it into perhaps your own fleet, or perhaps you can pass this on to others in your sphere of influence. I'm going to go ahead, just a couple of housekeeping details. I'm going to go ahead and read the bios of each of our speakers. And so we're going to go ahead and just go straight through our program because we want to be sure everyone gets a chance to do their full presentation. And then at the end, you can either step up to the microphones and ask questions, or you can also text. This is the number you can text your questions to if you're a little bit shy or you just would rather text the question. We will try to address it here in the session, or we can also follow up with you if we run out of time. Before I read the descriptions of the speakers, our guest speakers today, I would like to acknowledge the B20 Club members in our audience. I first of all want to thank you guys for coming, even though it was a chore for some of you to get here. So I'd like for you to please, all the B20 Club members, please stand so we can recognize you. So our first speaker is going to be Bailey Arnold. Bailey is the manager of the Clean Air Program with the American Lung Association of Illinois. He promotes air quality programs through project management, research, grant writing, and outreach. His work managing the B20 Club includes tracking and calculating emission reductions for partners using biodiesel. Arnold previously worked with sustainability initiatives related to lighting, recycling, and water quality. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree from Illinois State University. This is Bailey. The next speaker we will have is Mike Dimitroff. Mike is Manager of Art Initiatives with the Chicago Park District Department of Cultural and Natural Resources. In addition to managing the Chicago Park District's biodiesel program, Dimitroff oversees public art and sculpture installations in Chicago parks, manages bike sharing programs, and leads urban wood utilization initiatives related to repurposing lumber from ash trees decimated by emerald ash borer. Dimitroff holds a bachelor's degree in natural resources from the University of Michigan, but we aren't holding that against him. Pete Probst, on my far left, is a director of research and development with Indigenous Energy. He contracts with the Chicago Park District to implement logistical and technical aspects of the district's biodiesel program. He previously directed Chicago Biofuels, partnering with other organizations to bring renewable fuels to a wider audience. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering and a Master of Science in Environmental Science, both from the University of Illinois at Chicago. And last but certainly not least is our infamous now, since she's won 2 days in a row, Sarah Mark. Sarah is the Fleet Administrative Assistant with the City of Moline. She is responsible for the fuel requirements of nearly 700 vehicles and pieces of equipment that fuel at the City of Moline's central fueling facility, which incorporates biodiesel blends. In her role, Mark implemented one of the nation's first wireless RFID fuel authorization systems. She is skilled in cost-benefit analysis and with a CDL Class B commercial driver's license, also trains new drivers. So the trucks she's in are far bigger than she is. But we'll hear from Sarah at last. So without further ado, I want to introduce Bailey Arnold.
See if we can fix the mic here. No, it fell. How many people does it take? I don't know how it's propped up here. Comedic relief, everybody.
Did you get it? Okay.
All right. Can everybody hear me? All right. My name is Bailey Arnold. Where's the clicker? And as Rebecca said, I am with the American Lung Association of the Upper Midwest officially. I've been with the organization for about 2 years now, and I have 3 years of previous experience in a sustainability directive. With that, you might be wondering, what does the American Lung Association have to do with biodiesel? Well, the Lung Association has recognized biodiesel as a clean air choice for many years now for its proven emission reductions. Take, for instance, particulate matter. It's a known irritant for lung. So folks suffering from asthma or lung disease, it's particularly traumatic for their lung health. So when we saw the benefits of biodiesel, we were really behind it. With B100, the reductions are significant. And it really just fits our mission to save lives by improving lung health and preventing lung disease. So the B20 Club is a partnership between the American Lung Association in Illinois and the Illinois Soybean Association Checkoff Program. And really, the program would not be possible without the Checkoff Program and the generosity of the 43,000 farmers that they represent. So on behalf of myself, our members, the American Lung Association, I just want to thank the farmers for their generosity and making this program possible. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the B20 Club. So the club was initiated in 2015 as a way to recognize and reward Illinois-based fleets operating in Illinois on blends of B20 or greater. And it was really, it kind of came out of the brainchild of a local fuel marketer. It was one of our partnerships with the Lung Association. And through that partnership, we were able to get in contact with fleets that he was servicing that were using B20. And we wanted to give them the recognition that they deserved. And since that time, we've partnered with a number of coalitions such as Chicago Clean Cities, the Illinois Green Fleets Program, to get in contact with members, potential members, that is. And today, we represent 14 Illinois-based fleets that range anywhere from utility companies to municipalities to park districts to large school bus fleets, over-the-road hauling for trucking companies, an ag and fuel marketer up there as well. In addition to our member fleets, we also have several affiliated partners and associate members. The associate members are, again, Illinois-based. They need to have either facilities in Illinois or be based in Illinois to be qualified, same as the fleet members. So with that, I want to introduce you to the first fleet on the list. So Agland is a co-op, an ag co-op in Illinois that also supplies fuel in Illinois and South Carolina. To date, they've run 149 unique pieces of unique diesel vehicles on B20 biodiesel all year long. Another one who you'll hear a little bit more about from Mike and Pete over here today is the Chicago Park District. They manage 8,600 acres of green space, making them one of the largest municipal managers in the park sector. But they're not only a leader in that, they're a leader in sustainable initiatives, which you'll learn more about later today. Another one of our members is the city of Elmhurst. It's a western suburb of Chicago. They operate 300 plus pieces of vehicles on alternative fuels, including 77 of those vehicles on B20 biodiesel all year long. So that includes fire apparatus, it includes snow plows, anything you can think of that's a diesel vehicle or piece of equipment, they're gonna operate on B20. And that was to support their sustainability plan. Another member, the city of Evanston, operates 200 fleet vehicles, including 125 of those on B20 biodiesel. They also have a range of initiatives, including LEED building in the city. The next is the city of Moline, who you will hear a little bit more about from Sarah over here later today. But what I'll say is that they really take pride in being an Illinois green fleet. Not only do they operate vehicles on CNG, all-electric, E85 propane, they also operate on B20 biodiesel in 84 of those fleet vehicles. Another member is Commonwealth Edison, commonly referred to as ComEd. They service 3.8 million customers in the Chicagoland area, and since 2001 have invested $5 billion to increase grid efficiency. On top of that, they operate more than 1,800 vehicles on B20 biodiesel. Another one of our members is family-owned and operated Cook Illinois Corporation. They've been in the school bus transportation industry for more than 55 years, with a leading subsidiary in the industry for more than 100. They operate approximately 2,100 school buses every week in and around the city of Chicago, with 1,600 plus operating on biodiesel, specifically B20. In 2016, they were recognized for these efforts and received the National School Transportation Association's Go Yellow, Go Green Award for their use of B20 biodiesel and propane fuels. In addition to their school bus fleet, Cook Illinois also operates 26 transit buses at Midway Airport on B20 biodiesel, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. Never take a day off, dedicated B20. So our next member is going to be the Forest Preserve District of DuPage County, one of our newest members. They're a nationally recognized conservation agency that's mission is to connect the citizens of DuPage County with nature and get them really invested in the cultural history of the county while protecting the natural landscapes. And for them, they do so through the use of alternative fuels like CNG, propane, and B20 biodiesel. Our next member is G&D Integrated. They trace their roots back to the 1880s, and today they operate 400 fleet vehicles on B20 biodiesel throughout the state of Illinois and beyond on B20 biodiesel year-round, hauling mining and agricultural equipment, as well as several other industries. Another member is Peoria CityLink. They started in the 1970s with 33 buses. Today they operate 58 buses and 35 paratransit buses on B20 biodiesel all year round. And then we have Arnold Trucking. They have over 40 years of experience and operate 17 trucks. They really work with concrete, dry concrete, rock, sand, ag fertilizers, grain hauling, and they traveled over 1 million miles this past year on B20 biodiesel. The next member is SK Davison. They were founded in 1996, and they also focus on fertilizer and grain hauling, but they also haul asphalt, rock, and various other items. They operate 28 fleet vehicles on B20 biodiesel all year long, and they also traveled more than 1 million miles last year. The next would be the village of Arlington Heights. They're a northwest suburb. They have 365 vehicles total, of which 120 operate on B20 year-round, be it fire engines, be it Vector jetters, be it anything you can think of, they operate on B20 biodiesel all year long. In addition to those efforts, they've also implemented idle-free zones throughout the city, and they are a US EPA pollution prevention participant. The last member is going to be the village of Oak Park. They operate 250 pieces of equipment total, of which 105 operate on B20 year-round. Similarly, they operate their ambulances, their fire equipment, pretty much anything you can think of that's a diesel engine, they're going to operate on B20. And in 2015, they were recognized as Illinois' first and the nation's 4th municipal arboretum. So you'll notice throughout the whole slide, we did calculate each individual's fleet's emissions, and this is the grand total. We do so using the US EPA diesel emissions quantifier, which uses the US EPA MOVES model, so that's where all these figures came in. And I'm happy to report, as you can see, this past year they used more than 5.5 million gallons of B20 biodiesel. I mean, think about that impact. That's amazing. In 4,809 fleet vehicles. Reducing over 5,500 pounds of particulate matter and CO2 emission reduction equivalent to planting 230,149 trees. Or to put it another way, equivalent to constructing more than 2 wind turbines, or taking 1,896 fleet vehicles off the road. Or, to put it one more way, that's equivalent to reducing the miles from an average passenger vehicle by more than 2.5 million miles. So not only do we recognize our members for their emission reductions and their benefit to our economy, we also like to reward our members, and one of my personal favorite ways to do that is when we get to create these feature videos. We get to go out and talk with these fleet owners, these fleet managers. We get to meet their coworkers. We get to see their city, and it's just an amazing experience. So I want to show one of those to you here. Nope. It's not working here. There we go.
The industries we serve is mainly the agricultural industry and the construction industry. We do a little bit of what you'd call regional transportation work, but mainly it's agricultural and construction, local construction work. Really, it's kind of twofold. One, probably the best part is that it helps your environment, your emissions and whatnot. A strong second to that is we're out here in the middle of the corn and the bean fields, and it helps your local economy. It adds to the value of the crops that they harvest here and that we haul. We've been using B2 since 2002. We moved up to B11 in 2005, and then in 2012, we moved up to B20. As the years have gone along, the quality of your biofuels has increased substantially. So the amount of time that you can burn it into the winters, things like that, has gotten better. This year, we're going to run it all the way through the winter months. We joined the B20 club because we were invited to join. We were one of the first people in the area to use B20 in central Illinois, and we'd like to promote it. Now that we have this trailer, are very inquisitive about what that is about and what it is. So we're explaining to them what B20 is, that it does benefit your environment and it benefits the economy. The local elevator right here is thinking about switching over to B20 now because we do it.
So I think you can all see why that's one of my favorite parts. Ed, do you want to stand up and have everybody give you a round of applause? All right, so another one of the benefits that we provide, we do go to trade shows and we provide sponsorships for local community events where we either attend or provide information for the community so that we educate the citizens of the community and kind of tell them, you know, what are the benefits of biodiesel? Why is it important not only for air quality but for the economy? So that's one of the cool benefits that we provide. We also provide decals and magnets so that our members can proudly display that they're using America's advanced biofuel. Another addition, as you kind of have seen, we do provide custom mud flaps to our members. This year we actually provided eco flaps to help reduce the increase MPGs and reduce waste. We also provide custom marketing like this program that we did with CityLink where we took some quotes from their maintenance garage and ran them on their buses around the city of Peoria for, I think, 7 months. And then, as you also saw in the video, we also do custom vehicle wraps. We're actually in the process of doing another one with SK Davison. We really thank them for that. It's really great to get that awareness. The vehicle that we're doing next will be going to Chicago, Indy, St. Louis area, so it's going to be all over the Midwest and have a great reach, so we're really thankful for that. Another one of my favorite things is ASE Certified Diesel Tech training and fuel testing services. This is something that we provide with our partnerships. We're really happy to be able to offer this to our members, and it's really a great service, and we hope that they take advantage, and several have, including the Chicago Park District. So with that, that's all I have, and we'll move on to the Chicago Park Districts.